birds mind sunshine? They like sunshine, don't they? But what other things does our weather do in the winter? Does it get warm? It does sometimes in the winter. Sometimes does it snow? Yeah. And would it be hard for birds to find the seeds on the ground to eat if it's all covered with snow? The birds fly where it's a little bit warmer so they don't have to have snow. And right now the birds are getting ready to fly to a warmer place. In fact, you know what happened at my house this week? I was washing dishes, looking out my kitchen window, and the trees, there were little birds moving all over in the trees, and I thought, well, that's funny. I haven't noticed that before. I wonder what that is. But my husband knows what birds look like and what they do, and he said, the wrens are here, the wrens are here. So apparently there is a tiny little kind of bird that lives in Minnesota or Canada, and he flies south right through Iowa and through Marshalltown to get to a warmer place. And right today, he's in or a whole bunch of them are in my crabapple trees at my house. So I'm seeing migration at my house, and I bet you can see it at your house too. So let's read some stories about what the silly birds do. The library packed me a big box of books, so let's see what we have. Well, here's a funny one. They are so good at packing bags for us of books to read. Do you go to the library sometimes? Yeah, I bet you do. They have a lot of great stuff there going on there. My goodness, they packed us so many beautiful books. So let's see. Okay, let's start with why do geese fly south in the winter? Have you seen geese flying up above? What do they say? Do you remember what a goose says? What? Yeah, they flap their wings and they say honk, 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 honk when they're flying. So, and now we're going to see a lot of geese fly because they fly in a special way. They get one really strong goose out in front, and he flaps his wings and flies. And then behind him, stretched way out behind him, are more geese that don't have to fly so hard because they're not the first ones. So we will see lots of geese. Here's some other animals. These are caribou. And we have a caribou head right outside there. We'll go look at it. But these are caribou. They are migrating. Did you know caribou migrate? And here are the geese. Look at all those geese in that big blue sky. You can sit up close on the floor if it would be easier to see. Some animals migrate to find food and water. If these wildebeest didn't move, they might starve or die of thirst. Look at all those wildebeest. They have to move to get to water because what does our water do in the winter? Snow. It turns into snow and ice. Have you ever been ice skating? Yeah, so if your pond is covered in ice, it's pretty hard for the animals to get a drink, isn't it? That's why they go south. Here's even the penguins. Look at the penguins. Aren't they funny? Other animals migrate to mate. Penguins return to the shores where they were born, and after they have their chicks, they head back to the water. But dogs don't migrate. Some things hibernate. But how do the animals know when it's time to leave? Some animals get very hungry before it's time for them to migrate. They eat and eat and eat. They get chubby and they store up fat for the long winter. But look do you know what we have here? What's this picture? A butterfly. Do you know what kind of butterfly that is? What is it? What? It's an orange one, you're right. This is a monarch. This is exactly the kind of butterfly that we get to tag today and send out to fly. And when we tag our monarch today and it flies away, guess where it's going to fly? All the way to Mexico. Do you think that's more than a mile? Do you think those little tiny wings can fly more than a mile? You're right. It's a lot of miles. Those little tiny wings are going to fly a long, long way. And some animals, these are salmon, they migrate. and they know right where to go. These are little crabs. Did you know even crabs migrate? They go in and out where they belong. Red crabs live on Christmas Island in the Indian Ocean, and hundreds of crabs migrate to the ocean and then back to land. Their migration only takes a few days. But what happens if somebody builds a great big wall in the way? It's hard to migrate, isn't it? How would those little crabs, see these little tiny crabs? How would they get over that big wall? They would fall, you're right. So sometimes people build things that make it hard for animals to migrate. But we don't always think of that. This is a picture of some monarchs who are all covering up a big tree in Mexico. Wouldn't you love to see a tree full of monarchs? Oh my goodness, that would be a sight to see. All right, well, let's look at, remember it told us about that some birds eat and eat and eat and become kind of chubby? Does this look like a chubby bird? It is. This is called round robin. And let's see what happens to round robin. At the first time, the little robin was like any other baby bird. Most of him was head, and the rest of him was very hungry. So there he is in his nest, and he's got a big mouth, he's hungry. And here comes his mom with something to eat, right? Well, he ate and ate and ate and ate until he looked more like a ball than a bird, and everyone called him Round Robin. Hi, kids, come on in. We have some room right here on the floor so you can see pictures. We're glad you came. We're reading about robins and other birds that migrate to a warmer place in the winter. So today, we just started our book about a robin. Let's show them the picture, shall we? The robin started out being a tiny little bird with a big mouth, and his mommy's feeding him. And then, look what else she does. She feeds him more and more and more and more, and now look what he looks like. He looks more like a ball than a bird, doesn't he? Yeah. Well, the other birds fluttered about from tree to tree. Come fly with us, Round Robin, they said. See, all the other birds are flying, but Round Robin was too fat to fly. When he wanted to go anywhere, he had to hop. Hippity-hop, hippity-hop. Sometimes more bumps than hops, but mostly he just stayed where he was. All he wanted to do was eat. That silly robin. When fall came, the robins began to fly south. Come on, Round Robin, they said. Soon the snow will cover the ground and food will be hard to find. Come with us. But can Round Robin fly? No. Oh my goodness, what's he going to do? Let's see. So Round Robin headed south too. Hippity-hop, bippity-bop, bump. It was slow going. All that hopping made him hungry. So every few minutes he had to stop and eat, and that slowed him down even more. Round Robin had gone very far when winter caught up with him. Hopping in the snow was even harder work. Oh my goodness. That's why they fly south. They don't want to be in that snow, do they? Oh, let's see what Round Robin's going to do. It was easier on the road where the automobiles had packed the snow down hard. Hippity-hop, slippery slide. But it was dangerous. Look what happened. He almost got hit by a car, didn't he? If you don't want to get run over, warned a field mouse, stick to the byways. So the little mouse said, don't go on the street, go off the street. So Round Robin did, but look how hard it was for him. Oh my goodness, only his head sticks out. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see what I forgot to read over here. The snow kept getting deeper and deeper, but Round Robin struggled on. I'm starving, he complained one day, but there's nothing here to eat. All he can see is snow, and then out jumps a fox. The robin had said there's nothing to eat, but what does the fox want to eat? A bird. The robin. He licked his lips and leaped at Round Robin. Uh-oh, is he going to eat him up? You think so? You don't think so? You think so? Let's see. Everything happened so fast that Round Robin didn't have time to think. He was even more surprised than the fox when he found himself flying. He learned how to fly quick, didn't he? He wasn't round anymore. It's from all that exercise and nothing to eat, said Round Robin as he flew south. Look, he's shaped like a normal robin. He's not a big ball anymore, is he? He flew and he flew and he flew. Finally, he got to a warmer place where there was sunshine. And he found his friends. He didn't dare stop till he caught up with the rest of the robins. It was warm and sunny in the south with no snow on the ground, and food was easy to find. And Round Robin was so hungry. Uh-oh, what do you suppose he's going to do now? He ate and ate and ate and ate until he looked more like a ball than a robin. Uh-oh. How's he ever going to fly back north where their home is? Let's see. It had taken Round Robin all winter to make the trip, and now it was spring and the robins were beginning to fly north again. Come on, Round Robin, they said, it's time to go home. Uh-oh, look what he looks like. Can he fly home? So Round Robin sighed a deep sigh, and he started on the trip back north, hippity-hop, bippity-bop, bump. So now he has to walk all the way home again, doesn't he? That's a silly story. Okay, let's see about this one. This one says, instead of Mother Goose, have you ever heard of Mother Goose? This is Mother Bruce. And Bruce looks like a big bear to me. So, oh, and that looks like maybe Mother Bruce's house. Let's see. Mother Bruce. Bruce was a bear who lived all by himself. He was a grump. Uh-oh. Do you know anybody who's grumpy? I wouldn't want to know a bear who was grumpy, would you? He did not like sunny days. He did not like rain. He did not like cute little animals. See that cute little bunny? Apparently he doesn't even like the cute bunny. Bruce only liked one thing, eggs. Do you like eggs? He collected them from all over the forest. Good morning, Mrs. Sparrow. Look, he's got a basket full of eggs. But Bruce didn't eat raw eggs like other bears. He cooked them into fancy recipes that he found on the internet. Is this a true story? No. Bears eat eggs, but they don't cook with them, do they? One day, Bruce came across a recipe for hard-boiled goose eggs drizzled with honey salmon sauce. So he went to get the ingredients. First, he caught a few salmon. Then he collected honey from the local beehive. Look what he did to their beehive. Oh my goodness, he broke it, didn't he? He liked to support local businesses. Last, he went to Mrs. Goose's nest to pay her a visit. Are these eggs free range and organic, he asks her. Do you think that Mrs. Goose is going to want to give him an egg? No. I don't think so. Let's see what happens. At home, oh, I guess so. At home, Bruce prepared the eggs for hard boiling, but the fire in his stove fizzled, so he went out to get more wood. And when Bruce came back, he was met with an unwelcome surprise. I wonder what's in Bruce. Oh, look, he warmed up the eggs, and what happened? They hatched, and there they are, and you know what they're all saying? Mama, Mama. They think Bruce is their mama. Oh no, they have a big mistake, don't they? Bruce wanted hard-boiled eggs, not goslings. Goslings is the word for baby geese. He supposed he could settle for buttered goslings on toast, but for some reason he lost his appetite. He didn't want to eat those little cute geese, did he? Goslings. Bruce scooped up the little geese and stomped back to their nest. I will have to ask Mrs. Goose about her return policy, he said. only to find Mrs. Goose had flown south for the winter. She left a little note that said, "Be back in April." So Bruce left the goslings there anyway, and he went back home. So there are all those little baby geese sitting in that nest all by themselves, and they think their mommy is walking away from them, don't they? Let's see what happens. "Mama, Mama." But he was followed. Bruce was very stern, and he said things like, "Go away, I am not your mother." And then he said, "I liked you better when you were eggs." So all those cute little geese keep following him. Roar! Bruce could take it no longer, and he became extra grumpy with them. They don't know what to do they? It didn't work. Goslings always follow their mother, even if she is a he and he's a bear. So look, he tried to hide in a tree. They followed him. He's going through the woods. They're following him. He wanted to take a nap. There they were. He tried to make the best of it. He's trying to teach him to swim. Look at him. He knew they would want to swim, so he thought he better get a little pool going. Let's see. It was hard work. Look, he even made a little carrying device for them. And now he has their high chairs. "Mama, Mama." And there they all are sleeping on a big log. I guess it's nap time. As the season passed, Bruce watched these pesky goslings grow older. First they were annoying baby geese, then they were stubborn teenager geese, and then they were boring adult geese. And then one fall afternoon, he saw other goose families flying south. Remember we talked about how geese fly kind of together? Here's what they look like in the sky. Finally, he'd be rid of those geese and he could take a long winter nap. He thinks that the little geese are going to fly away. Let's see if they do. Do you think they're going to fly away from him? Some of you think yes, and some. Bruce explained migration. See how he's flapping his arms trying to show them how to fly? He wants them to fly away. But they didn't listen. Look, instead, they got all dressed for winter. They put on hats and coats. They think they're going to stay here for the winter, don't they? Bruce needed the geese to leave, so he got creative. Oh my goodness. What's he doing? He made a slingshot. He's trying to shoot them up in the sky. Oh my goodness. Nothing worked. The geese would not leave Bruce. Here they are giving him a big hug, and he says, he doesn't know what to do with all those geese. So Bruce decided to pack some bags and take the geese into town. They boarded a bus. He's going to put the geese on a bus to go south for the winter. Let's see if that works. Look, he has a big backpack, and each little goose has his own little backpack. So let's see. Oh, he migrated to Miami. There's Bruce on the beach. He went where it was warmer too. It says, now every winter, Bruce and his geese head south together. They laze about at the beach in tacky shirts, sipping ice-cold lemonade while Bruce dreams of new recipes that don't hatch. There they all are in Miami. Uh-oh, and here comes a little turtle, and guess what the turtle's saying to the goose? Mama, are you my mama? Uh-oh, their family might grow into bears and geese and turtles. That's a silly book, isn't it? Let's see what other funny book we have. Let's look at, here's another goose one. Honk, honk, goose. Another Canada goose. Canada geese are the ones with the black necks and the white mark here and white on their bodies. I think we have one out in the diorama out in front, so we can go look at one. Honk, he honk. In chilly mid-March, a male goose called and chased. He chased squirrels, honk. He chased ducks, honk. Geese, honk, honk, honk. He's a chaser, isn't he? He chased all away except he liked the female geese. He wants a girlfriend, doesn't he? And then they spent all their time together. Dabble dip, they paddled in the pond. Pluck pull, they fed on the plants. Stretch and curve, their necks danced. Splash splash, they took baths. Those geese. Did you know that Canada geese get a male and a female together, and they stay together for the rest of their lives? They never choose anybody else. They stay with the same couple. Inside the female goose, eggs begin to form. It was time to make a nest. Honk, honk, the male chased away a muskrat. Honk, honk, he snapped away a snapping turtle. Honk, honk, he rushed at a possum. He's chasing all those other animals away. He wants to make a nest. The female goose stacked sticks and grasses and plucked soft feathers from her breast and used them to line the nest. And then she started laying eggs, one each day. One. So they have 5 days of laying one egg each. On the 5th day, when the geese were feeding, a raccoon rolled an egg out of the nest. Crack! Oh no, they broke one of the eggs. That raccoon took one of her eggs. Honk, honks, the male goose hissed at him, and flap, flap, he lunged, and the raccoon ran away. But one egg was broken. That would make them sad, wouldn't it? The next day, the female laid another, and the next day she laid the last. All the eggs were laid, so she sat on them to warm them, and now and then she stood and turned the eggs. Did you know that mother geese and other birds stand up and turn their eggs over so they can be warm on all the sides? The male goose floated nearby. He's always watching. Honk, he honked at a kingfisher. Honk, honk, he honked at a skunk. They don't want a skunk by there, do they? Honk, honk, he chased off a heron. Early each morning and evening, the female goose took breaks to bathe and eat under the goose down blanket. The eggs stayed warm until she returned. For 28 days, the mother goose sat on the eggs, and then she heard a sound. What do you think that was? It might be. Crack, creak, crack, beep, beep. The chicks were hatching. First 1, then 2 at once, and then suddenly 3. 6 wet chicks dried in the sun. See all those little chicks? When they first come out of their eggs, they're kind of wet and sloppy, and the nice sunshine dries off their soft, soft feathers so they're fluffy. Let's see. The male goose stood guard. Honk, honk, he honked at the squirrels. Honk, honk, he honked at neighboring geese. The day after the chicks hatched, the father and mother took a stroll. 12 wobbly goose legs followed. There they go, trip, trap, tripping out. They're going to go find some water to float in, I bet. The parents slid into the water and the chicks followed. Plop, 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 plop. Dabble dip, they paddled. Pluck, pull, they fed on the plants. Did you know they're only 1 day old and they already learned how to walk and swim? They're pretty smart, aren't they? The mother goose walked up the muddy bank and settled down to rest. Scratch, slip, the tired chicks climbed. Peep, peep, peep. They scrambled for places under her wings. There all the little chicks climbed in under her wings. Peep, yawn, peep. Eyelids drooped, and soon the chicks were fast asleep. Every goose except the father, who stood guard. He stayed alert, ready to chase away any danger. Honk, honk. See, he puts out his big wings and he keeps them all safe. And that's the end of the story. Okay, that was our goose story. Tammy, are you ready for us? Okay, we are going to go look at a monarch and put a tag on him.
Migration, right, today?
We did.
Did you do a monarch class?
We did not.
One of the things we do around here is we do raise a few monarchs. Depends what we can find for caterpillars out there. This year we raised about 5, I think, in captivity. This is our second to last one, and it just came out today. And they migrate down to Mexico, which is about 1,300 miles down there. So,
Oh my goodness.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put this little tag on it. And this helps people, the researchers, know like migratory patterns. How many survive when they get down to Mexico, different things like that. So, have you all seen monarchs out in the wild? Butterflies? Yeah?
We saw one in our story, didn't we?
And then we'll come over here and we'll discuss how you can identify the difference, which I wish this was a little bit bigger, I apologize. But up here, and we'll open it up when we get outside, on the very bottom wing here, if it's got a little dot and the veins are thinner, then it's a male. The female, her veins tend to be a little bit thicker on the black spot, and then she has none. So just put it on there. Whoops, not on my finger. And then you can, if anybody wants to take a picture, we'll hold it up so you can see it. So we'll just put her on her hand, and then she'll fly away. Well, maybe. There she goes.
Watch where she goes. Oh, look, she found a place in the tree. She's like, oh.
Off to Mexico she goes.